know.
It's a cultural divide. I'ma get it on the floor.
You really about to do it?
40 acres in the Mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Then get on it like that.
Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like whoa. Bust that on a beat, bro. Deep boat in the rap. He a freak though, man. Damn, call like Amber Lambs. Tell him breathe.
It's a lot of juice that we gotta pour. It's been a whole lot going on over here. It's a whole lot going on, family. We gotta get to this now. All right. First things first. First of all, the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to them. They won the Super Bowl. The Bird fans are crazy. I heard gunshots going off at halftime. I pulled up in the driveway. I said, the game can't be over. It was like 7:30. I'm coming from out of town. It's like 7:30. I hear gunshots going off in the drive. I'm like, what? The game can't be over. And unless they're up by like 40, right? Unless they're up by 40, like, you shouldn't be celebrating like that. Patrick Mahomes is a dangerous, dangerous man. Huh? You need about 40-point lead. So I get to the house, I see it's 24-0. Y'all celebrating way too early. But then when I saw Patrick Mahomes, I said, oh, that's not Patrick Mahomes. That Philadelphia Eagle defense fluttered him greatly. It even took Andy Reid out of his gameplay. I got to give Andy Reid shout-out props, though. Andy Reid's one of the first coaches to ever wake up in the morning and say to himself, I want to win a championship with a black quarterback. If it was not for Andy Reid, Jalen Hurts possibly would not be a national football champion, family. Andy Reid has set a stage in the NFL so black quarterbacks can thrive. You understand? And not just Andy Reid, but the Philadelphia organization. Yeah. They've been ahead of the pack when it comes to black quarterbacks. And we know the NFL has a long history of discriminating against black QBs. We discussed it before. Because the defense and the technology has evolved to such a degree that you now need these black quarterbacks and their elusiveness and their mobility. The in-pocket quarterback passing with Tom Brady's era is kind of being wiped away because the technology has evolved so drastically, right? So now you look at Mahomes and you look at Deshaun Watson and you look at the champion Jalen Hurts, they are all essentially similar type quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson is probably the extraordinary quarterback of that pack of the black quarterbacks. He doesn't really fit that typical prototype, but they all have a similar build, same body. I'm talking about Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Deshaun Watson, a few others I can think of. But long story short, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles and the fan base for winning, bringing home a championship. I was happy to see that. But more importantly than the actual game, oh yeah, let's get to it. The game is just the game on the field, family. No, it's bigger than the game. It's bigger than football. It's bigger than basketball. It's bigger than rap. It's bigger than entertainment. Kendrick Lamar knows that. It's bigger than rap. It's bigger than entertainment. Kendrick Lamar knows that. So in that knowledge, he displayed it. His knowledge of the black community, of history, of America's history, of black American history. It was all on full display at the halftime show. For those that want to remain ignorant purposefully, or they want to express their racism in various forms and fashions. Oh, it was over-sexualized. It was ghetto. We're going to get into all that real soon. We're going to get into all that. All those were expressions of racism and basically ignorance. But I want to take a note as to what Kendrick Lamar was rapping and what he was saying, because these words are very, very key. Listen. Hold on. It's a cultural divide. Listen, man. We did a video last year around this time. It was called No Cap Cat Season, because he brought in 2024 with that hard rap. But he was spitting bars. He came in with hard rap and hard truths on the Shannon Sharp podcast. And it was one of the biggest views of all time on YouTube. Similar to Kendrick Lamar's halftime show It received some of the biggest views of all time, right? But there was a lot of criticism on this show about his performance. And it was a brilliant performance. It was a theatrical performance. We understand that those that are knowledgeable and those who know history, they know how brilliant it was. We're not debating that. Even the fact that the whole stage was a Sony PlayStation video game control handler, right? You may have missed that part. The whole stage, I repeat, is a PlayStation video game control handle. And then when the stage opens up, when the performance opens up, you know, in those old video games, there's the up, down, left, right, the codes being displayed. It was being displayed on that stage. And many of the performers did not really actually know that they were actually within a prison, within a video game control handle. But we're not talking about the symbolism, and we're not talking about the brilliance of it right now, because it was very brilliant. I want to talk about the commentary surrounding it. This is gonna be a long video. I'm going all day. I'm just gonna go. I got a lot to say about a lot of things. Contemporary issues or immediate issues. All right. So he says this.
40 acres in the Mule.
Hold on, my bad.
It's a cultural divide. I'm gonna get it on the flow.
It's a cultural divide. I'm gonna get it on the flow. It's a cultural divide. All right. So he's bringing in 2025 with this type of energy. Okay. The previous halftime shows, gotta take note of them. And I'm not a football guy, but the significance of this to America and to American culture, I cannot ignore. It's the #1 sport in America, okay? Now, the cultural divide. What's going on here? Who's being divided? Yes. We know that Black Americans are delineating, they are outlining their lineage. We know this. So they are dividing themselves as non-immigrants from the rest of the American community on that cultural sense. Family, this has nothing to do with who you're dating. I ain't talking about that. You want to date a black person, a white person, yellow person, brown person, please go ahead and make yourself happy. Do you. We're not talking about individual relationships. We're talking about group and collective relationships, okay? So in this cultural divide, there's a group divide, okay? Not personal, group divide, all right? There's the divide between the Black non-immigrants and America's immigrants. Black America feels as if they have been the mule horse for other groups' benefits and social privilege and access to wealth. They begin to see this. So now they're pushing forwards reparations, which brings us to our next point about Kendrick Lamar. This is what he says.
40 acres in the Mule.
You really
40
about to do
acres
it?
in the mule. This is bigger than music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they
Bigger
try
than
to
rap,
get the
bigger
game,
than
but you
football.
can't fake it.
It's
Flow.
bigger than you entertaining yourself. It's bigger. It's bigger than music. This goes back. Matter of fact, it's bigger than my life, bigger than my business, my little cars, bigger than your wife, bigger than your kids. Did I mention your life? I mentioned that part. It's bigger than your life. Because it's a conglomerate of all lives which have led up to you being here at this time. It's a lineage. And that lineage is due what? 40 acres and a mule, also known as reparations. He's singing this before the American people at their favorite sport on the biggest stage in the world. They have no problem with celebrating Black ignorance and Black decadence. The reason why they don't like Black History Month so much is because it forces them to celebrate Black excellence and it shies away from the Black decadence. And so now you hear men like the Honorable Louis Farrakhan talking.
Kendrick Lamar.
And he was like, Kendrick set the rappers free.
Set a new standard. He freed rappers to come on up. He's the boss. He's the boss. Now, when the rappers are free to say it like it is and say what they feel and teach their people through music and rap and song and dance, the cultural revolution is on.
He said Kendrick can set the rappers free. Oh, minister, hold on, good brother. Wait a minute, hold on, sir. Who had them bound? And as they were bound by such individuals and such entities and such groups, as they were being bound, what were they singing? What were they rapping? Were they singing and rapping as bound men the whole time? Were they purposely or intentionally lowering the vibration and the frequency of the music to a third grade reading level? To the third grade cognition level? Is that what they've been doing since the 1990s? When they had that arrangement between the privatized prisons and the privatized prisons and the CEOs and the executive producers and the controllers of the music world. That's what they've been on. Anyway, he said they've been set free. They need not longer entertain and buck dance for a couple of nickels and dollars. Is it bigger than music? Is it bigger than your bank account? Bigger than your portfolio, family? Okay? It's even bigger than reparations and the check which is attached to that. Okay? It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that because you have to stand on something. Hold on, you got to stand on something. We finally are being forced to stand. That's what he said. It's a cultural divide. You're going to either run and hide or you're going to stand. Which one is going to be? That's simple. And it's not based upon race. It's not based upon race. You're going to see in real time. You see that same thing with this Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. The divide within, now we talked about the divide within black America. And when I say black America, I mean black immigrants and black non-immigrants. But what I'm saying to you is black Americans are not separating themselves from black immigrants. Black Americans are separating themselves from all immigrants. They're not being racist. All immigrants. In fact, black people can't be racist. There's only one form of racism in the world. Global white racism. Read the Kerr Commission report. It's right on my video, my channel. The documents are there. They're separating themselves because the Democrats, keep it real, the Democrats have used their pain and their name, like an image in their face to give other people their benefits. And that's a no-no. And that line being wrong right now. And I have no problem with that. You can't ask me to be the pain bearer for the whole American populace, and then at the same time you still systematically place me at the bottom. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Go to hell. Go to hell, nigga. How about that one? Now, so that's the divide between black Americans in that respect. Now that's how, listen, black Americans, as a black American, I still have African friends, Asian friends, white friends, Latin friends. You understand? This is not about a personal relationship. If any of my friends were in need of help, you got me. I got you. But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about the collective group behavior. You cannot continuously ask that group to do those things. You got me on that. Cool. Moving on. The other cultural divide is between white America. Because black America and white America, to some degree, they're already divided. We get that. That division has been going on for quite some time. But now there's a division between white America. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the culture. That's the other cultural divide. White America is not divided. White America, similar to black America, is divided by age. Because as I said, there's a whole bunch of division going on. Black non-immigrants, black American freedmen, are separating themselves, dividing themselves by delineation from the immigrants of America. Black, white, brown, yellow, Chinese, black, white, brown, yellow, whole 9 yards. Then, also at the same time, within Black America, the black non-immigrants, the Black American freedmen, there's another cultural divide going on with them as well. That's based off of age also. Because you have men out here like Morgan Freeman, Morgan Freeman, your whole team took the creaming. That's proper. That's his name, Morgan, because he's far gone from reality. Family, listen, look at this. Hold on, watch this video. Let me pull this up. This was utterly disgusting. And the same rapper who mentioned Morgan, I used that same rapper, the late great Biggie Smalls, to mention Farrakhan, because Farrakhan had said, Kendrick has set the rappers free. You no longer need to buck dance, be a criminal, or portray yourself as a criminal degenerate within society, or a sexually exploitative 304, like Sexy Dead. Why you call her Sexy Dead? Because STDs kill. She's not Sexy Red. She's Sexy Dead. I repeat, STDs kill, family. And she promotes her STDs around like it's nothing. That's disgusting. Okay? And this is the type of behavior they promote. When you look at Sexy Red, you have to understand, wherever there is black decadence, there's usually, dare I say, a white zaddy attached. A white zaddy is attached to this black decadence. Michael Boley is her $1 billion investor. Michael Boley is a white man who has invested millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in the promotion of Sexy Dead entertainment. Yes. Yes, this is what they do. They always take the lowest of our group, promote it to the highest on stage. And they do that through their platforms and through their money. Kendrick Lamar said, no, we ain't doing it. It's bigger than rap. It's bigger than music. 40 acres of Mule. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. That's why Farrakhan said he has set the rappers free in 2025, brother. Thank you, Kendrick. We appreciate your work. Let's take a look at Morgan for a second, shall we? Take a look at Morgan. My dear brother. My good old dear Uncle Morgan. Listen to this ninja. This is an old clip. This is an old video. But
you find ridiculous.
Listen, hold on. What?
History Month you find ridiculous.
Black History Month, you find Morgan. What do you find, Morgan, slave man? What do you find? I find it
ridiculous.
I find it ridiculous.
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Of your lineage, which is the establishment, or which has established the foundation of the #1 nation in the world, as ridiculous. Interesting. And let's be fair now. Let Morgan explain himself. Don't get ahead of Morgan. Don't do him like Miss Daisy. Now, don't do him like Miss... Goddamn Miss Daisy. He's an old... Morgan's an old... Why? He said, why?
Black
why,
History Month
why?
you find
Why
ridiculous.
do you find Black History Month
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
ridiculous?
Oh, come on. What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month?
Oh, shit. You're going to relegate my history to a month? You hear him? Hit him with that strong voice. You're going to relegate my history to a month? Fair enough. It is the shortest month. It's the coldest month of the year. I admit that. But to say that it has been specifically relegated just to that month, I give some pushback on that. Because actually, you can celebrate it all year round, as I do. But at the same time, that month, we just concentrated collectively more so than other months. But technically speaking, we can celebrate it all months. We need not the permission of anyone. Look at June 19th. June 19th was celebrated for years, decades. before the American government made it a national holiday, we did not give a damn if the government acknowledged it as a national holiday or not. Nigga, we did. Continue on.
Well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
What month?
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
No.
Do you want one?
No.
All right, I don't either. I don't want a Black history.
Okay. What month is Jewish History Month? No, Cole, slow down, Morgan. You slow down. You slow that down. The man who you're speaking to is white. He's Jewish, true. But he is also European, and he is white. On the census, he's classified as white. Which brings me to my point about the conversation of so-called Jewish supremacy. Pause on that. There's only one supremacy, only one supreme. That's white racism, global white racism, or global intended white supremacy. I mean, they intend to be white supreme. It's based upon race. Let's be clear on that. Those Jews that were put in concentration camps in Auschwitz, Germany, and hunted throughout Europe by Adolf Hitler's Third Reich, they were European. Those are white people in this country, in America. We call them white. Those are white Jews. They're white people. And the reason why we say it's white supremacy is because there is such thing as the Black Jews, right? Black Jews are the original Jews. Black Jews were birthed in Egypt, ancient Africa. They came out of Africa. They are the original Jews, but yet they do not have any power over Israel, the country, the nation. They have no power over the world. They are an oppressed, suppressed people like most black and brown people throughout the world. That's my point. We live in a system dominated by global white racism. Okay? So he says, what about Jewish History Month? Do you want to just relegate your time to Jewish, to 1 month? And there is no Jewish History Month. But they don't need Jewish History Month. You understand? Why don't they need Jewish History Month? Because they got their 40 acres in a mule. That's what Kendrick was talking about. It's bigger than a rap. Somebody got to do it. 40 acres in a mule. They got their 40 acres in the mule. And not only did they get their 40 acres in the mule, the white Jews, not only did they get their 40 acres in a mule from Germany, who they say, who has been historically documented, committed these crimes against them, they got their 40 acres in the mule from other countries who had nothing to do with it. Like America, who actually committed atrocities against their indigenous population and have not paid one dime yet back. And this is the cultural divide that we're coming to, family. It's not just based upon reparations. It's based upon people standing on their lineage, standing on code. Staying on code. Morgan Freeman's off code. Straight it down. You off code, Morgan. I don't know how you put it. You off code on this conversation. You are off code on this conversation, brother. You understand? So continue real fast.
The month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it.
He don't need one. He got reparations. Your people did not get reparations. You understand? So they gave you some trinkets like Black History Month. And we work with that for now until we get our what? True justice. We're not content with this. We're not satisfied with this, but we take it and we run with it. It's not stopping anything. It's not slowing anything down. It's not in the way of anything. The older white people, this goes back to my parts about the divide. There's a divide going on here. The divide is also going on between, as I said, between old blacks and young blacks. Morgan's into the 70s, 60s, and 70s. The young blacks don't think like this, don't talk like this, don't walk like this, don't move like this. That's why Biggie said, your whole team and be more going to Freeman. But he also said in another song, Biggie Smalls it is, he said deep like the, deep like the mind of Farrakhan, a mother effing rap phenomenon. Plus I got more Glocks than Texas. But deep like the mind of Farrakhan. Here's my part. Farrakhan, although he is an older man, has always been a student of this life, meaning that he has always been learning. He has disciplined himself and conditioned himself to always have new thought. That's why even though he's older, he stays abreast. He stays afloat with current issues. He knows the time of the day. He knows what's going on. He knows the vibration and the pulse of the people and his people. Okay? That's not Morgan. Morgan's far gone. His mind's not deep like Farrakhan. Understand? So that's the cultural divide that's happening. All older blacks are not our enemies, but a lot of them are. A lot of them are. Because they want to die comfortably. And they don't want to submit themselves to the work which is required. They want to, they got their houses paid off, their cars is paid off, college tuition for their kids is paid off. They eating, they chilling, they good. A lot of black folk live real good. But a lot of these older blacks, they want to die peacefully. And they want to forget the fight that's behind them. That's not me. That's not me. Okay? So that's why I call out the more goings than Freeman. Okay? Because he's not free. He's the opposite of free. Farrakhan is free. Kendrick Lamar is free. Because Kendrick Lamar said, as bigger than music, I'm going to speak freely. I'm going to speak freely. Yeah. And unapologetically. And I don't care if you like it, you don't like it. You got to deal with it. It's in your face now. And back to the cultural divide with white America. Because white America is going through a cultural divide as well. See, the people who disliked Kendrick Lamar's halftime show was mainly the older whites.
I mean, come on, stop with the ghetto crap. I'm done with the ghetto. I've had it up to here with ghetto. I know they want to say rap is this and rap is the streets and rap is the current and rap is the that.
But you have to understand, when you're assessing white America, you have to understand that half of white America is 60 and up. 60 and up. So that means they were born, half of white America was born in the 60s, family. In the 60s, during like the civil rights era. There was some whites fighting for equal rights, and there was some whites fighting for white rights. Just like the Civil War. Civil rights, before that, the Civil War. You had some whites fighting for the betterment of society. You had some fighting for the detriment of society. You understand? And so what happened is, the younger today, the young whites, about 35 and down, 30 and down, 30 and down. Many of these younger whites, they have been birthed, if you will, in the hip-hop culture. They saw Kendrick Lamar start. They saw him when he was a small artist, and now he's the guy now. You understand? So they have an attachment to that to some degree. All right? And that's why you see them dancing. He got the Saquon Barkley jersey on, right? He's dancing. He may not even like black people. I suspect that he does. But I've seen that before. I've seen white people, the older ones, got the whole jersey on, Michael Jordan jersey, Allen Iverson sneaks, watching Oprah, but they dislike black people. The younger crowd, the younger whites, not so much. Not so much. And that's what's going on. That's why this gentleman, this actor, he's talking crazy about ghetto.
I mean, come on, stop with the ghetto crap. I'm done with the ghetto. I've had it up to here with ghetto. I know they want to say rap is this and rap is the streets and rap is the current and rap is the that.
Sir, stop. Sir, you need to watch your mouth. The reason why you were on Ellis Island and your people were there because you had to escape the Italian ghettos. Because of poverty, sir. Because of homelessness and lack of opportunity, you came to America because they monetized whiteness. They had my people locked in the chains, and they gave you a hazing process to make yourself white. Because when you first came here, they didn't classify the Italians as white. The Italians and the Irish were not white in America. They made them literally fight in the streets of New York. Made them fight for whiteness in the streets of New York. All the same time, they had us locked in the prisons and the jail systems and the American apartheid system. Yeah, we'll talk. So even the lowest whites, they gave them a up over us in this country that was built by the Black American freedmen. So now he comes here, and he is not even 60. He's 70. He was born in the 50s. So he's far older than the average white person. So this is how he expresses his racism, his anti-black sentiment. Oh, it's ghetto, it's ghetto, it's ghetto. No, sir. No, sir. What your family escaped from was a ghetto. Your whole country that you had to run from, sir, that was in fact, indeed, sir, a ghetto.
I don't want a Black History Month.
Okay, Morgan, talk.
Black history is American history.
Okay.
How are we going to get rid of racism and stop talking about it?
Start right there. That was his solution. I'm going to close up soon. I'm done. He said, how do you end racism, Morgan? This ninja said, stop talking about it. He said, stop talking about it, nigga. Yeah, you keep talking. You don't stop talking, Morgan. When you was driving Miss Daisy around, you should have been talking to her too. You should have been trying to slide or something. At least if you had tried that, we would have a better nickname for you. Something like Morgan Skeetman.